time long past, within the enchanting realm of Serendel, where magic flowed as freely as a river, and destiny performed an elegant dance in the whispering wind, there resided a young maiden named Alara. Renowned throughout the kingdom for her mesmerizing beauty and extraordinary talents, Alara possessed the rare gift of manipulating the very elements themselves, setting her apart from all others within Serendel. Alara's life had been far from ordinary. Abandoned as an infant on the doorstep of the illustrious Great Citadel, the most revered establishment for magical arts in the realm, she had been lovingly raised by the wise sorcerers and sorceresses who called the Citadel home. Under their nurturing guidance, Alara had learned to harness her powers and utilize them with wisdom. Alaric, a venerable wizard whose knowledge rivaled that of ancient tomes, had become her steadfast mentor. With his guidance, she had mastered control over fire, water, earth, and air. As Alara blossomed into womanhood, whispers began to circulate throughout the kingdom about an age-old prophecy. It was said that a mage of immense power, one capable of commanding all four elements with grace unparalleled, would emerge as Serendel's ultimate savior. Many believe that it was Alara herself who was destined to fulfill this prophecy. The weight of such a profound destiny rested heavily upon her shoulders, compelling her to uncover the truth about her origins and untangle the enigmatic threads of this prophecy. One night, beneath a sky adorned with twinkling stars, Alara ventured deep into the heart of the enchanted forest, a place cloaked in mystique and home to magnificent creatures beyond imagination. It was there, among ancient trees and shimmering fireflies, that she encountered Ossian, an owl whose age-worn wisdom infused its every utterance. Ossian spoke of prophecies, recounting how it had been foretold that the chosen mage, destined to save Serendel, would bear upon her left wrist a mark in the shape of a crescent moon. With bated breath, Alara examined her wrist and beheld a sight that astonished her: a delicate crescent moon etched into her skin, a symbol imprinted upon her very being. Her heart raced with the realization that the prophecy held truth, and she was indeed the one destined to bring salvation to Serendel. Eager to unravel the mysteries of her past and the intricacies of the prophecy, Alara embarked upon a treacherous journey. Her quest led her to far-flung corners of the kingdom, where she encountered malevolent creatures cloaked in darkness, as well as allies who exuded radiant light. Along this perilous path, she formed an unlikely friendship with Thistle, an impish forest sprite whose mischievous nature belied his ability to manipulate time and reality at his whims. Thistle's peculiar personality and astute guile provided much-needed levity and guidance throughout Alara's arduous expedition. The pursuit for answers ultimately guided Alara to the ancient library nestled deep within the Whispering Mountains, a sanctuary preserved by the wise sages. It was here that she discovered a profound tome, the repository of Serendel's history, origins of prophetic whispers, and tales surrounding the elemental mage. Within its pages lay revelations. Only by uniting 4 sacred relics, the flaming sword, crystal chalice, stone amulet, and feathered crown, could the mage fulfill her destiny and safeguard the realm from peril. Alara's quest pressed onward as she ventured into each elemental domain in search of these revered relics. In fiery caverns inhabited by a formidable fire dragon guarding the flaming sword, she discovered firsthand the virtues of courage and inner strength. In ethereal depths, beneath crystal seas' azure waves, she outwitted cunning merfolk to secure the crystal chalice, embracing the power of adaptability. Within the heart of earth and forest, she unraveled riddles posed by sentient trees and claimed the stone amulet as her own, forging a connection with the grounding stability of earth. Finally, atop the windswept heights of Skyreach Peaks, she tamed the mighty Griffin King and was granted the feathered crown, an artifact that imparted upon her a profound understanding of freedom and flight. With each elemental relic safely in her possession, Elara returned to the great citadel to complete her training. Under Alaric's vigilant gaze, and with the council's sagacious guidance, she delved into the depths of her potential. The council shared ancient knowledge, a forgotten lexicon of spells and rituals necessary to unite the relic's powers and unlock the fullest extent of an elemental mage's capabilities. As Elara's powers burgeoned, she found herself torn between fulfilling her role as Sarendel's prophesied savior and yearning for a life steeped in normalcy. Her heart likewise became divided between two individuals who had stood unwaveringly at her side throughout perilous trials. The first was Eric, a valiant knight whose loyalty and sense of duty rivaled his love for Elara. The second was Lysandra, a cunning thief whose resourcefulness hid a heart aflame with compassion. Lysandra had joined Elara's quest, seeking redemption for past transgressions, and had come to harbor for Elara a passionate love akin to wildfire. Elara's own heart remained conflicted. She cared deeply for both Eric and Lysandra, yet destiny had always been her steadfast priority. As she unlocked her true potential as an elemental mage, her powers soared to extraordinary heights, leaving little room to ignore the encroaching threat that cast its shadow over Sarendel. Malachar, an ancient sorcerer who had risen to power, sought to plunge Sarendel into an unyielding abyss of eternal darkness. Having learned of the prophecy, Malachar believed that by eliminating the elemental mage, he could seize control of the kingdom for himself. He unleashed his malevolent forces, setting the stage for a climactic battle that would determine Sarendel's very existence. Elara knew that the time had come to embrace her destiny and confront Malachar head-on. She united the elemental relics, invoking their collective power to summon a cataclysmic storm, a tempest of unparalleled magnitude meant to cleanse the land of evil. The ensuing battle was a clash of elemental forces, with Sarendel teetering on the precipice of certain doom. With unwavering support from her loyal allies, Eric, Lysandra, Thistle, and Ossian, Elara engaged Malachar in a battle where magic intertwined with strategy and courage became an indomitable shield. This battle raged for days upon days, shaking the very foundations of Sarendel, a testament to the strength, love, and indomitable spirit possessed by those who held steadfast belief in the power of destiny. Finally, it was through Elara's mastery over elemental forces, her tenacious spirit, and the love she shared with those who stood beside her, that triumph emerged as an unstoppable force against Malachar's encroaching darkness. The storm she had summoned merged seamlessly with Sarendel's collective light, a radiant explosion of magic that vanquished both Malachar and his nefarious legions. As the tempest gentled its tumultuous might, Sarendel found itself bathed in a warm, golden light, a glimmering beacon representing hope and renewal. The kingdom had been saved, prophecy fulfilled. Alara not only harnessed her elemental powers, but also learned to wield the might of love and unity, proving that destiny was not an immutable path, but rather a transformative journey shaped by one's choices and the bonds they forged. Alara, Eric, and Lysandra, accompanied by their loyal companions, returned to the great citadel as heroes, names reverberating through the land with unyielding praise. Sarandel flourished beneath their benevolent rule as the elemental mage continued to protect the kingdom from any threat courting darkness. The Chronicles of Sarandel, a tale of magic and destiny, serves as an enduring reminder that destiny is not a predetermined path, but rather a voyage encompassing choices, challenges, and personal growth. It underscores the importance of relationships forged and love interwoven within this intricate tapestry of existence. Nestled within the idyllic town of Lakenridge, ensconced between two formidable mountain ranges, the tender love story of Beatrice and Liam began its enchanting tale. This was no cliched story of love at first sight, but rather a resilient journey where their hearts navigated through life's labyrinth, repeatedly finding solace in one another. Beatrice, an ardent botanist, had recently relocated to Lakenridge to immerse herself in the study of the extraordinary alpine flora that flourished in this region. Her eyes shimmered with an infectious excitement whenever she expounded on her research, and her unwavering commitment was evident in the countless hours she spent traversing the mountain trails. Liam, the proud proprietor of Lakenridge's Soul Inn, had inherited this illustrious establishment from his ancestors. A man of few words, he was firmly rooted in his town's traditions and possessed an intimate knowledge of its history. Fate orchestrated their initial encounter when Beatrice sought accommodation at Liam's inn. The sheer beauty of the place took her breath away, while Liam's extensive understanding of the mountains and their captivating legends left her utterly captivated. Gradually, they found themselves spending more time together, hiking through picturesque landscapes, embarking on exploratory adventures, and delving into profound conversations about their respective dreams. Yet, just as their relationship seemed to be blossoming, Beatrice received a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lead a groundbreaking research project in a faraway land. Torn between her deep passion for botany and her growing affection for Liam, she found herself standing at life's crossroads. After careful contemplation, she made the difficult decision to seize this extraordinary chance, promising Liam that she would return to Lakenridge once her project was concluded. Liam's heart shattered into fragments upon hearing this news. However, he understood Beatrice's aspirations and respected her decision. Immersing himself in his work, he tirelessly attempted to fill the void left by Beatrice's absence. Days melted into weeks, weeks transformed into months, and their correspondence dwindled as their paths diverged. One fateful day, an immensity of tempestuous fury unleashed its wrath upon Lakenridge, triggering a devastating landslide that ravaged a substantial section of the inn. Liam, already burdened by Beatrice's absence, now faced the daunting task of resurrecting his cherished familial legacy from the ruins. Meanwhile, in a distant land, Beatrice received the heart-wrenching news, and an inexplicable compulsion surged within her, urging her to return and stand steadfastly by Liam's side. Alas, her project had reached a critical juncture, and abandoning it at this pivotal moment would jeopardize all she had strived for. Once again, she found herself at a crossroads, choosing between love and ambition. Unbeknownst to Beatrice, while she grappled with this internal struggle, Liam stumbled upon an ancient diary concealed amidst the rubble. The diary once belonged to his great-grandmother and chronicled her own remarkable love story with his great-grandfather. A tale of love forged through separation and eventual reunion. Inspired by their unwavering determination, Liam resolved to immortalize their shared history by penning a heartfelt missive to Beatrice. Within this letter, he bared his soul, expressing his arduous journey and the profound depths of his affection for her. He intertwined his ancestral legacy within the words, recounting how their own love story had ignited an insatiable yearning for connection. Beatrice's heart swelled with emotions upon receiving this epistle. It was then that she comprehended the weight of her own sentiments towards Liam. Determined to complete her project with unwavering speed, she swiftly embarked on her return to Lakenridge. Upon her arrival, a sight greeted Beatrice that far surpassed her expectations. A fully resurrected inn, radiating an even greater magnificence than before. At the entrance stood Liam, clutching the ancient diary. They rushed into each other's arms, their souls acknowledging that their love had deepened exponentially throughout their physical separation and personal struggles. Together, they breathed new life into the very essence of the inn. Beatrice introduced a resplendent botanical garden, meticulously showcasing the region's unique alpine flora, while Liam curated captivating treks and excursions steeped in the rich lore of Lakenridge. In no time at all, their inn became a coveted destination for wanderers and nature enthusiasts alike, drawn to its harmonious blend of natural beauty and heartfelt hospitality. As years unfurled like the wings of time, their bond continued to strengthen, forging an unbreakable connection. Together, they weathered numerous trials and tribulations, drawing strength from one another. In due course, they were blessed with 2 children, whom they lovingly named after their ancestors, whose own love story had orchestrated their reunion. The town of Lakenridge transformed into an enduring testament to the power of their love. The majestic mountains that once stood as mere geological formations now embodied symbols of their arduous journey, towering yet nurturing, formidable yet protective. Often, Liam and Beatrice would find themselves seated together upon their porch, hands entwined, gazing out at those mighty peaks. Reminiscing about their transformative odyssey, they became living proof that true and profound love possesses the fortitude necessary to surmount even the most colossal obstacles. Their tale transcended its temporal confines to become an indelible legend in Lakenridge, a tale passed down through generations, a poignant reminder that love encompasses not only finding one's soulmate, but also enduring steadfastly alongside them through the tempestuous currents of existence. Ultimately, Beatrice and Liam's love story was not confined to their own narrative. It became a universal testament to every heart that dared to embrace love, every spirit that courageously withstood separation, and every soul that defiantly battled against all odds. It stood as a compelling affirmation of the eternal might of love, proving that at times, love can genuinely move mountains. In a distant era, within the confines of a charming hamlet named Willowbrook, resided a youthful maiden by the name of Emily. Renowned for her enchanting allure and compassionate spirit, Emily possessed a simplicity and benevolence that seemed to illuminate the lives of those fortunate enough to cross paths with her. As an educator, she dedicated her days to shaping the minds of the next generation and delighting in the laughter that emanated from her cherished charges. Meanwhile, in the bustling metropolis of Elmsworth, situated on the opposite end of Willowbrook's spectrum, dwelled a man named William. Noted for his architectural prowess and unwavering attention to detail, William had achieved great success in his profession. Yet, despite his triumphs, he couldn't shake the lingering sense of emptiness gnawing at his soul. There was a profound longing within him, a yearning for something far more meaningful than the cold embrace of steel and concrete structures he so masterfully crafted. The worlds inhabited by Emily and William existed as distinct realms, seemingly destined never to intersect. However, destiny had other plans in store for them. One radiant morning, amidst a school excursion to Elmsworth's hallowed ground with her students, Emily's path serendipitously crossed with that of William. The class found themselves visiting an esteemed museum where William happened to be present, passionately engaging in discussions regarding an upcoming architectural endeavor. It was within this dimly lit gallery that their gazes met for the very first time, an encounter orchestrated by some unseen cosmic force. Inexplicably drawn to one another, Emily bestowed upon William a tender smile filled with warmth and sincerity. In turn, he found himself utterly captivated by her genuine kindness that radiated from deep within her being. Their souls resonated harmoniously. Alas, before they could exchange words or even truly comprehend this inexplicable connection fate had orchestrated, Emily's students ushered her onward to the next exhibit. Days transformed into weeks, and Emily couldn't rid herself of the fleeting yet profound connection she had experienced with the gentleman from the museum. Sharing her encounter with her dearest confidant, Sarah, she found solace in the comforting words of encouragement that encouraged her to heed the call of her heart and seek out this mysterious man. Despite initial hesitations, Emily resolved to embark upon a quest to find her elusive muse. She took to a community notice board, penning a heartfelt message recounting their brief encounter in hopes that he too might stumble upon it. William, on his end, was haunted by the memory of the beguiling woman who had left an indelible mark on his heart. He found himself returning to the museum time and again, yearning for even a mere glimpse of her once more. As days turned into weeks without any sign of his enchantress reappearing, he too made use of the community board in a desperate attempt to locate the enigmatic stranger who had sparked such profound emotions within him. Months slipped away like grains through an hourglass, and despite their best efforts, Emily and William had yet to unearth each other's whereabouts. Their connection seemed fated to remain nothing more than an elusive memory, hope teetering precariously on the edge of extinction. Yet just when all seemed lost, fate intervened in miraculous fashion. On a fateful evening bathed in moonlight and mystery, Emily received word from a mutual acquaintance named Lisa. This kind-hearted friend had chanced upon William's post on the aforementioned community board. Lisa recognized him from William's vivid description of their museum encounter. At long last, Emily and William were united. Their joy knew no bounds. They commenced conversing online, pouring out their thoughts, dreams, and aspirations with utmost vulnerability. What began as mere digital exchanges swiftly blossomed into heartfelt dialogues, revealing a connection far deeper than the chance encounter at the museum had implied. Through these exchanges, they discovered an abundance of shared interests, a passion for art, a commitment to making the world a better place, and an identical sense of humor that left them in stitches. As their bond grew stronger, it became abundantly clear that their hearts were fated to unite as one. The pair resolved to meet in person, selecting a picturesque cafe nestled within Willowbrook as their designated meeting spot. When Emily and William locked eyes once more, it was as if the very universe conspired to bring them together. They spoke for hours on end, sharing tales and laughter as though old comrades rather than newfound acquaintances. That initial connection felt in the museum had deepened into something far more profound, an all-encompassing love that surpassed any they had experienced prior. As months transformed into years, Emily and William's love withstood the test of time, only flourishing with each passing day. They stood shoulder to shoulder through life's triumphs and tribulations, supporting one another's dreams while diligently working towards transforming them into realities. Inspired by Emily's boundless compassion and her unwavering dedication to education, she initiated a nonprofit organization aimed at providing underprivileged children access to quality learning opportunities. William, too, found himself moved by this noble cause, harnessing his architectural expertise to design buildings that championed sustainability and eco-friendliness. His contribution towards creating a brighter future for generations yet unborn. Their love story served as an unyielding testament to the power of love itself, as well as patience and destiny. Originating from disparate worlds, they came together fleetingly through happenstance before taking it upon themselves to seek one another out. Their tale exhibited that true love exceeds superficial attraction. Instead, it is molded by unwavering dedication towards building a shared existence founded upon mutual dreams and aspirations, all the while striving to positively impact the world around them. Ultimately, Emily and William continued to interweave their love story, venturing hand in hand through the seasons of life. Their existence became an embodiment of boundless happiness, purpose, and love, a perpetual source of inspiration not only to those residing within Willowbrook and Elmsworth, but to anyone who chanced upon their remarkable journey. Their love served as a reminder that even amidst the most improbable circumstances, love has the power to triumph.